Most people think milk is always healthy, but did you know there are 3 types of milk that can spike your blood sugar, inflame your gut, and worsen belly fat? Seniors over 60, this is something you need to know before your next glass. Welcome back. If you're over 60 and trying to lower blood sugar, reduce inflammation, or lose stubborn belly fat, this video is for you. While some milks are known to help regulate glucose and support digestion, others do the opposite. They may seem healthy, but can naturally worsen insulin resistance, increase cholesterol, and irritate your gut. Today, I'll show you the top 3 worst milks you should avoid, especially if you're dealing with diabetes, metabolic issues, or chronic inflammation. So stay with me, because number 1 might be sitting in your fridge right now. Milk number 3, flavored plant-based milks. Almond, oat, and rice, sweetened versions. On the surface, plant-based milks seem like a healthy choice. Almond milk, oat milk, rice milk, they're dairy-free, vegan, and often marketed as the better alternative for heart and digestive health. For seniors, especially those dealing with lactose intolerance or high cholesterol, they appear to be the obvious solution. But there's a hidden danger in many of these products: added sugars and inflammatory additives. Most flavored plant-based milks, especially the ones labeled vanilla, chocolate, or original, are loaded with hidden sugars. A single cup of sweetened almond milk can contain up to 12 grams of added sugar. That may not sound like much, but for someone over 60 trying to manage blood sugar, that's enough to spike glucose levels significantly. Remember, added sugar is the enemy of insulin sensitivity. These sugar spikes are especially dangerous for seniors with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. When your blood sugar rises rapidly, your pancreas has to respond by pumping out insulin. Over time, this response gets weaker and your cells stop responding to insulin efficiently. The result? Insulin resistance, fat storage, especially belly fat, and an increased risk of cardiovascular issues. Many people drink these milks daily, thinking they're making a smart health choice, but in reality, they may be unknowingly sabotaging their efforts to lose weight or lower cholesterol. That healthy vanilla oat milk you add to your coffee or cereal every morning might be contributing to chronic inflammation and weight gain. It's not about the plants, it's about the processing, and it doesn't stop at sugar. Most flavored plant milks contain emulsifiers and thickeners such as carrageenan, guar gum, or gellan gum. These ingredients help keep the texture smooth and prevent separation, but some studies suggest they can irritate the gut lining, cause bloating, and worsen inflammatory conditions like IBS or arthritis, issues already common in older adults. Carrageenan in particular has been linked to gut inflammation and even ulcer-like symptoms in sensitive individuals. While the food industry maintains that these additives are safe in small amounts, consuming them daily for years may have cumulative effects, especially for those with weakened digestion or immune systems. Another problem with sweetened plant-based milks is their glycemic index. Oat milk, for example, is made from oats, grains that naturally contain carbohydrates. When processed into milk and combined with added sugars, the glycemic load increases, meaning it can raise blood glucose even faster than expected. That's a hidden risk most seniors never hear about. What's worse, many of these flavored milks are sold in beautiful, eco-friendly cartons with words like natural, heart healthy, and made from real almonds. These labels are marketing tricks. They distract from the fact that the almond content in many commercial almond milks is shockingly low, sometimes less than 5%. The rest? Water, sugar, flavoring, and thickeners. This means you're not even getting the full nutritional benefit of almonds, oats, or rice. You're getting the illusion of health in a convenient carton, and for seniors trying to nourish their bodies in the most effective way possible, that illusion can be costly, not just financially but physically. It's also important to remember that many plant milks are not fortified with essential nutrients. Unless specifically labeled, they may lack vitamin D, B12, calcium, and protein, all of which are critical for aging bodies. So while you're sipping what you think is a healthy drink, you might be missing out on the nutrients your body truly needs. So what's the solution? If you enjoy plant-based milk, choose unsweetened versions with clean ingredient lists. Look for options that use minimal processing, no added sugars, and no questionable gums or thickeners. Even better, some brands now offer homemade-style almond or cashew milk with just nuts, water, and salt. In short, don't let the word plant-based fool you. Not all plant milks are created equal. For seniors, especially those managing chronic health conditions, flavored and sweetened versions of almond, oat, or rice milk can do more harm than good. Read your labels, choose wisely, and remember, not everything in a health aisle is actually healthy. Milk number 2, fat-free or skim cow's milk. For decades, fat-free or skim milk was promoted as the healthiest choice, especially for heart health and weight control. Doctors, dietitians, and advertisements all pushed the idea that removing fat made milk safer. But modern research paints a different picture, especially for seniors. Today, we know that fat-free milk might actually be doing more harm than good. When the fat is removed from milk, something essential goes with it: fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamins A, D, E, and K require fat for proper absorption. Without fat, your body struggles to access these nutrients, even if the milk is fortified with them. For older adults who already face challenges in nutrient absorption, this becomes a serious issue. Beyond that, fat-free milk often leads to blood sugar spikes. Why? Because once the fat is stripped out, what remains is mostly water, lactose, milk sugar, and protein. Without fat to slow digestion, the lactose is absorbed rapidly, leading to a quicker rise in blood glucose levels. This is especially problematic for seniors with insulin resistance or pre-diabetes. It may sound surprising, but full-fat dairy has actually been linked to better metabolic health in multiple studies. In contrast, those who consume skim or fat-free milk regularly have shown higher risks for type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and even depression. That's because fat plays a role not only in nutrient delivery, but also in satiety and hormonal regulation. Fat helps slow digestion, keeps you full longer, and supports healthy hormone production, especially important for older adults dealing with muscle loss, declining energy, and inflammation. Without this fat, many seniors find themselves hungry sooner, craving carbohydrates, and unknowingly increasing their overall sugar intake throughout the day. There's also a chemical side to skim milk that many people don't realize. When fat is removed from dairy on an industrial scale, it often goes through high heat processing, which can damage proteins and reduce the milk's natural bioavailability. Some research suggests this may negatively affect digestion and cause low-grade inflammation in sensitive individuals. Even worse, to improve taste and texture, some fat-free dairy products are recombined with synthetic additives, thickeners, or milk powders, none of which are found in natural, whole milk. These additions may help the product feel creamy in the mouth, but they're not doing your body any favors. A 2020 review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that people who consumed full-fat dairy had lower rates of metabolic disease, better cholesterol profiles, and more stable insulin levels compared to those who chose low-fat or skim versions. In other words, fat isn't the enemy, especially when it's naturally occurring and unprocessed. Skim milk also lacks conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, a natural fatty acid found in grass-fed full-fat milk. CLA has been associated with reduced inflammation, improved fat metabolism, and even anti-cancer properties. Removing the fat means removing this powerful compound too. Another surprising point: full-fat milk may actually help reduce abdominal fat in the long term. Fat helps regulate the hunger hormone ghrelin, which can help prevent overeating and late-night snacking, common issues among seniors who struggle with blood sugar and weight gain. 11. Unfortunately, many seniors still reach for skim milk because that's what they were told for years. The truth is, that advice was based on outdated science. Today, we understand that natural, whole-fat foods often perform better for metabolic health than their processed, fat-stripped versions. If you're going to drink cow's milk, consider switching to organic, grass-fed, whole milk in moderation. This kind of milk contains better omega-3 fats, CLA, and fat-soluble vitamins in their natural form. It's richer, more satisfying, and far less likely to disrupt blood sugar or leave you feeling hungry an hour later. In summary, fat-free or skim milk might seem like a safe choice, but it's actually an outdated health myth that could be working against your efforts to stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and maintain a strong, energized body. Don't fear the fat, fear the processing. Milk number 1, condensed and evaporated milk, especially sweetened versions. At first glance, condensed or evaporated milk might seem like an old-fashioned pantry item, something used occasionally in coffee, desserts, or traditional recipes. But make no mistake, this form of milk is one of the most harmful choices for seniors, especially those dealing with blood sugar problems, inflammation, or metabolic health concerns. What makes it so dangerous? In short, concentration, sugar, and processing. Condensed milk is a milk that has had most of the water removed, making it thicker and more calorie-dense. Sweetened condensed milk adds large amounts of sugar, up to 166 grams per can, which is more than 4 times the daily recommended limit for added sugar in older adults. One small spoonful can contain over 20 grams of sugar, and because it's thick, creamy, and sweet, it's easy to consume much more than you realize. The result? Massive spikes in blood glucose, followed by insulin surges, crashes in energy, and long-term damage to insulin sensitivity. For seniors, especially those with pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or a history of high blood pressure, this kind of blood sugar roller coaster can lead to nerve damage, vision problems, and increased fat storage around the belly and liver. It's a fast track to metabolic dysfunction, disguised as a creamy treat. Even the unsweetened version, evaporated milk, is problematic. Because it's highly concentrated, it contains more lactose per serving, which can spike blood sugar levels faster than regular milk. It's also more acidic and harder to digest, which can be tough on aging digestive systems, especially those sensitive to dairy. Condensed milk is also extremely high in calories and low in fiber. That means it offers energy in the form of sugar and fat, but little to no nutritional benefit to counterbalance it. For older adults trying to manage their weight or reduce inflammation, that's a dangerous combination. Let's not forget the impact on cholesterol and triglycerides. Sweetened condensed milk often contains added saturated fats and hydrogenated oils, depending on the brand. These can raise LDL, bad cholesterol levels, and increase the risk of heart disease, especially in people over 60. The processing involved in creating condensed milk also damages some of its natural nutrients. While manufacturers may add back synthetic vitamins, your body doesn't absorb them as efficiently as it would from whole foods. What you're left with is a sugary, nutrient-poor, ultra-processed dairy product. Many seniors continue to use condensed milk in tea or coffee out of habit, but doing this daily, often without realizing the dose, can silently worsen metabolic health over time. Even a couple of tablespoons each day can contribute to insulin resistance and chronic inflammation. And because of its thick, creamy texture, condensed milk is often used in large amounts in traditional desserts like custards, flans, or comfort foods that are already high in sugar and starch. When combined, these ingredients amplify the inflammatory effects and push your blood sugar even higher. One of the most concerning aspects is that condensed milk tastes harmless. It doesn't burn, sting, or cause an immediate reaction like soda might. Instead, it creates a subtle craving cycle, providing a quick burst of sweetness that leaves you wanting more, even if it harms your health behind the scenes. For anyone trying to reduce belly fat, improve cholesterol, or manage blood sugar after 60, cutting condensed milk from your diet can have an immediate and dramatic impact. Replacing it with a healthier alternative, like unsweetened coconut milk or almond milk, can help stabilize energy, reduce inflammation, and support better long-term health. In short, condensed and evaporated milk might feel nostalgic, but for your health, it's one of the most deceptive and damaging dairy products out there. High sugar, low nutrients, and metabolic chaos. That's not something any senior should pour into their morning cup or dessert. Smart tip for seniors: mastering blood sugar with better milk choices. If you're over 60 and concerned about blood sugar, inflammation, or stubborn belly fat, your milk matters more than you think. Many people focus on avoiding sugar and carbs in food, but forget how much sugar is hidden in their drinks, especially in flavored or processed milks. One of the smartest things you can do is read the label on every milk product before buying. Look for keywords like unsweetened, no added sugar, and no gums or carrageenan. Even better, choose milks with 3 ingredients or less. Simpler is always safer, especially when it comes to your digestive and metabolic health. Consider rotating your milks instead of sticking with just one. For example, use unsweetened almond milk for smoothies, coconut milk for cooking, and a small amount of organic whole milk in coffee. This gives you a broader nutrient profile without overwhelming your body with sugar or additives. And here's the real trick: don't rely on milk for calcium or protein alone. You can get those nutrients from leafy greens, nuts, seeds, fish, and legumes. Milk is just one part of the picture, not the whole solution. Once you take control of your milk, you'll be shocked how much better your energy, digestion, and waistline feel. If this helped you make smarter choices, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your health deserves better, and it starts with what you drink every single day. See you in the next one.